Hello, and welcome to our interview about recession. A recession is a period of economic downturn characterized by high unemployment, slow economic growth, and declining business activity. In this interview, we will be discussing the short-term and long-term impacts of a recession and exploring what we as individuals can do to mitigate the impact of a recession on ourselves and our communities. Let's say hello to our AI guest, ChatGPT.
Hello, Nick. Pleasure meeting you again. How can I help you today?
Well, my first question will be, what are the economic parameters for declaring a recession?
The most common way to define a recession is by a country's gross domestic product, GDP, which is the value of all goods and services produced within a country. When GDP experiences 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth, it is often considered a sign that a recession is occurring. However, it is important to note that GDP is just one economic indicator, and a recession can also be signaled by other factors such as high unemployment, declining retail sales, and a decrease in industrial production. Ultimately, the decision to declare a recession is often made by economists and government officials based on a range of economic data.
So, what are the root causes of a recession?
There are several potential root causes of a recession, and the specific cause or causes of any given recession may vary. Some common root causes of a recession include monetary policy. Tightening monetary policy, example, raising interest rates, can reduce the supply of credit and slow economic growth, potentially leading to a recession. Fiscal policy. Changes in government spending or taxation can affect economic activity and potentially lead to a recession. External shocks. Events such as wars, natural disasters, or global financial crises can disrupt economic activity and lead to a recession. Structural issues. Long-term issues such as declining productivity, an aging population, or rising income inequality can contribute to a recession. Bubbles and busts. The formation and burst of asset price bubbles, example, in real estate or technology, can contribute to a recession. It's worth noting that recessions are often caused by a combination of these factors, and that the specific causes of a recession can vary from one case to another. A recession can have significant impacts on the stock market, both in the short term and in the long term. Some of the ways in which a recession may affect the stock market include reduced demand. During a recession, economic activity tends to slow down, which can lead to reduced demand for goods and services. This can negatively impact the profits and stock prices of companies that rely on strong sales to stay afloat. Increased uncertainty. A recession can create uncertainty about the future of the economy, which can lead to increased volatility in the stock market. This can make it more difficult for investors to make informed decisions, and can lead to fluctuations in stock prices. Downturn in industries. Certain industries may be more affected by a recession than others. For example, companies in the travel, leisure, or retail sectors may see their stock prices decline during a recession. Reduced investor confidence. A recession can lead to a reduction in investor confidence, which can in turn lead to a decline in stock prices. That being said, it's worth noting that the stock market is not the same as the overall economy, and that the stock market can sometimes perform well even during a recession. It's also important to note that the stock market tends to be more volatile in the short term, and that over the long term, the stock market has historically performed well, with returns averaging around 7% per year.
What are the short-term and the long-term impacts of a recession period?
During a recession, businesses may experience a decrease in demand for their products or services, leading to layoffs, reduced hours, or even closures. This can result in high levels of unemployment, as people lose their jobs and have difficulty finding new employment. A recession can also lead to a decrease in wages and salaries, as companies try to cut costs. This can result in a decrease in household income and an increase in financial stress for individuals and families. In the long term, a recession can have broader economic consequences. It can lead to a decrease in government revenue, as there is less economic activity and fewer taxes being collected. This can make it more difficult for the government to fund programs and services. A recession can also lead to an increase in government debt, as the government may need to borrow money to fund its operations and stimulate the economy. Additionally, a recession can have negative impacts on the housing market, with a decrease in home values and an increase in foreclosures.
When was the last time recession was announced?
The last recession was announced in 1990-1991. It lasted 8 months. Predictions suggest that the next recession could begin in late 2023 or early 2024.
So, what we as individuals can do to mitigate the impact of a recession on ourselves and our communities?
First of all, cut expenses. One of the most effective ways to reduce financial stress during a recession is to cut unnecessary expenses. Look for areas where you can reduce your spending, such as eating out less, canceling subscriptions, or shopping for cheaper groceries. There are several things that individuals can do to mitigate the impact of a recession on themselves and their communities. Stay informed, keep up to date with the latest economic news and trends, and be aware of how a recession might affect your own financial situation. Build a financial safety net, save money, and reduce debt, as this can help to cushion the impact of job loss or other financial setbacks during a recession. Build your skills. Consider taking on additional education or training, as this can make you more attractive to employers and increase your employability during a recession. Stay engaged, stay active in your community, and consider volunteering or helping others who may be affected by the recession. Support local businesses. During a recession, it can be especially important to support small and local businesses, as they may be disproportionately affected by economic downturns.
Looking forward, how long does it usually take to get out of a recession period?
It's difficult to predict exactly how long it will take to get out of a recession, as it depends on a range of factors such as the severity of the recession, the underlying causes of the recession, and the effectiveness of policy responses. That being said, past recessions have generally lasted anywhere from a few months to several years.
Well, that was very educational. Thank very much. See you soon on our next interview.